montage. John explained it to me as he did our way over here, and that's why we're still waiting for some people to arrive. Why I don't know what a joyful montage is. However, we are very blessed, and I did want to share with you just a little montage of the story of my classmates. And I'm pleased to begin with already the secret that you've already seen, and the picture of this very young child. Who is this person?
Joe Gino.
Joe Gino. Joe shares this early picture with us of himself and his grandmother. She was the first to notice that Joe, like others, had been marked with the famous Casparian shadow. Grandma is seen here encouraging Joseph, even at this young and tender age, to run away from home. Actually, there was no reason for Joe to run away from home. So many people were happy and excited about his arrival. Unfortunately, those people were out of town when this picture was taken.
That's not me.
That's what they all say, Joe. Joe carried the gift of the Casparian spirit. Not least among the gifts was that gift of wanderlust and the ability to use your imagination. This proved to be a blessing for Joe. As you know, he was from a very small town. This is a picture of his high school graduation class. And it truly tells us why the shadow was such a good friend to Joe. Joe could see himself in many different roles. Who and how he would spend those restless years like Augustine were filled with wonder and excitement. Joe first began with a brief career as an Elvis impersonator. That's what they all say, Joe. And this happened in faraway West Carthage. He could hear himself singing Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel before his adoring fans. At the advice of his friend, Bob Demento, shown here in the golden hat, Joe began a journey that took him to Old Mexico and that merengue band that he loved so well. This is the Everett and the Siesta 7 group. They realized just how little talent Joe had and recommended that he join another very popular Pineapple and Plaid band, then playing in the Lanai Square in Watertown, New York. Joe was slighted because he never got to wear the big hat that his friend Shorty wore at every performance. So he struck out on his own and became a rather accomplished dancer in the Natural Bridge Theater. He was known as Jose de Blanco. He is seen here with his choreographer, Lawrence of Pensacola. At the theater, he danced his way into the lives of many fair women who were captivated by Jose de Blanco's beautiful bow tie. Finally, with the encouragement of his parents, he sought the spiritual direction that he needed from trusted, wise, and capable guides. Under the kind and caring direction, he was able to fashion his life on others, and in fact, began to take the quality of those people into his own life. In 1981, he was distinguished by winning the Young Padre Pio lookalike contest. and later on, the Bonner Best Twins Award. Joe also took third place in the Gabe Kaplan lookalike contest. this dirty dozen of delinquent derelicts that proved to change Joe's life and help him to be the kind, wonderful, and angelic young man that he has been for 25 years. Next, we would like to give a brief sketch on his Mike Hughes. And as we begin, you'll notice that Joe and Mike have something very much in common right from the very beginning of their lives. There it is, the Casparian shadow. That's what Joe said. So, okay. And that you can there were several times along the way that we tried to use the excuse that we were mixed up in the hospital, as we are today, but anyway. You'll notice in Michael's eyes that look of wonder as though he knows, even at this tender age, that he is called to know so much more than any other child. See the eyes? Right. This, we think, was a picture that Michael's parents stole from some other child's community. This child seems holy and humble. Just one child among many. It could be that it's his cousin George. Deep down, his parents and his sisters knew that the gleam in the eye of that child in the baby picture had not dimmed. The party spirit was destined to overtake him. During his high school years, Michael was a regular on American Bandstand. Is that true, Michael? Oh, it is true, but the other picture wasn't you. All right, okay. Right. Yeah, that's what so he was a regular on American Bandstand here in Philadelphia, and he was president of the White Bucks Brigade and winner of the American Bandstand Pat Boone Lookalike Contest. Although he was frequently troubled by this gigolo image, he was blessed with the friendship of a quiet, kind, and responsible young lady from St. Donata's Parish, who was his regular partner on the show. Annette was the one who brought him to that sudden realization, to that moment of true awareness, to that call that changed his life, and we have a picture of that very moment of conversion. This is a picture of Michael's transforming moment. Like Augustine, while teaching the Pythagorean theorem to sophomores who really didn't care, Michael was made aware of his great call. Under the guidance of his mother, he, like Joe Janito, sought the advice of two whom he trusted and loved the most. He will never forget this moment as he greeted the Holy Father, and the Holy Father said to him, "Does your face hurt after you smile like that?"
Oh man, they're ripping him.
He also said to him, "Are you really a bishop, or is that a room key around your neck?" This visit sent Michael back to seek the advice of those who he really loved and whose counsel he sought regularly. We all know what advice he received. Michael's career began as principal of Zebra High School, and where he remained for 3 weeks. He came to see the difference that the place would bring for him, knowing how very, 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 very popular he was. He had to sneak away from the place in disguise in the middle of the night. Michael did finally ride into the sunset and found himself in a young, vibrant Shangri-La in Florida. Here he is with the winner of the Dress Like the Pastor Award. Michael, beginning with American Bandstand, has danced his way into the lives of many people over these 25 years. I am reminded of what he said to Dick Clark. The lyrics are good, but I just can't dance them.
That's great.
And I'm pleased to just present a brief introduction on Father Joe Mastardi. Joseph Samuel Mastardi was an athlete and apparently a patriot. Joe was a spoiled child right from the beginning. Marie and Teresa realized that most of their life would be spent serving every desire that their favorite brother would have. Washing, cleaning, teaching him how to dance. Although he stood out in the crowd, he did get along well with other children. He had a special friend that he used to laugh with. Joe developed a love for food, not from the Kirkland market, but from this friend, Tom, who was his strength and support for many, many years. Sam and Ida loved their Joseph. He brought them sunshine, joy, and happiness, and are still most proud of Joe. There were those special days, like the one pictured in this picture. Joe's father bought him his first hairpiece. And even until today, people think that Joe has his own hair. Here's a picture of Joe Janito straightening Joe's on ordination day, and many were curious about who that other ruggedly handsome priest is with the long hair. Joe had a special romance. He found that he was attracted to her and felt that she was uniquely suited for him. This is Julia Child's daughter. She was instrumental in showing Joe the needs of the church. This couple, with his friend Art Maccaro's meteoric rise to position in the church, led Joe to be active in the RCIA, the Roman Catholic Intelligence Agency. Joe began to blend into ecclesial crowds, using some appearance-altering gimmicks that he added to his identity. The beard, simple yet dramatic, ordinary and unassuming, in the presence of the international bon vivant like Scott Ness. This simple intelligence mission would lead Joe to other parts and other challenges in his role as an ecclesiastical spy. Perhaps as an unassuming gardener and houseworker at the house of Cardinal Capagelli. Or perhaps reaching back into his athletic youth like Scott Ness, called to be an international bon vivant and an athletic director at the Vatican. The greatest challenge came in the later years when Joe accepted the vacation investigation that required him to assume his clever role as the cruise director and concierge on the good ship Lollipop. Could it be that he could return to his first love, cooking while inebriated? What would a look in the future bring for Joe? A warm smile, a tattered stove? Whatever Joe has, he will always be associated with the young. And good will be what he accomplishes as a blessing to someone who will be forever young. Frank Warren. From the very beginning, it was obvious that Frank had a smug and condescending attitude. The picture kind of indicates that he's saying, "It's my diaper and I'll do what I want." Kiss off, I'll be provincial someday. In 1923, Frank received his first... The other mothers obviously kept their children away from Frank. Listening, you can probably overhear the mother saying, "Honey, stay away from Beeper. He's the boy, they say, that's going to never spend his first communion money." She might have said, "You just wait. He'll become one of those boys who's like an angel, but there's trouble in their eyes. They don't call him Beeper for nothing. He has those shifty eyes and that Bobby Rydell smile. I'll watch him. He's liable to wind up influencing our children as principal of Bonner someday. I bet he has as much in that devil look as he does an angelic smile." These people were right. Here he is hanging out with the Max Ortiz gang. He's up to no good. So it went that way for the cute and condescending young man with the due life, holy, horrible, holy. Holy, hanging out with Dave Kelly, that religious golfer from Mother Angelica. Wearing that hat. What's in those boxes anyway? Half holy? Horrible. Frank began a campaign called First World First. This is a Peruvian priest who is giving Frank a check from the children of Chulucanas. Recarpet the vestibule of Bonner. Holy. Glass to Sandy side, there it is again, baptizing two beautiful babies. Of course, Frank did remind his couple that baptizing two babies was a little more costly than just one. Trouble. You trust the shepherd and he steals the sheep. This picture was found in Francis's room only last week. It depicts 4 sheep that mysteriously disappeared from the novitiate. Every everyone blamed Joe Mustardi because they had found 2 new recipes for a leg of lamb and several new sweaters. Until I recovered this picture and was able to be sure that it indeed was a conspiracy of this group, the Sheep Shearing Four and Larry D. Notice that Everett is wearing a real woolen coat. The shepherd was the theme when he appeared on the Rick Herman show, again with Larry D, Golden Boy, and the Beaver. Well, they fessed up to the whole shady affair. Stay tuned. Still, that charming communicant will reveal to us even more of his powerful story. Francis, indeed, is one of those blessed people for 25 years, has been a sign of that young yet joyful presence of God in him. Thank you very much. I'd like to talk to you about John Liggio. As you can see, John's parents were very young when John They expected to experience the joy seen here in this picture for many, many years. But like Monica, Charlotte, and Pete had a difficult vocation. As John developed, he proved to be a unique child. He was the only child who had a beard in his kindergarten graduation. As a youth, he joined up with the Staten Island Hounds, a bad crowd that went around the neighborhood ruining people's lawns and driveways as well as some living room carpets. Gletha, John's first love, although enwrapped by his bohemian bow tie, broke John's heart. He received a letter from Gletha telling him how unworthy she was and asked if she could have the bow tie. John began a life of confusion, first using his God-given talent to gain favor in a world of glitz and glamour, and then for a brief time allowing confusion and radical change to rule his life. Charlotte, Peter, and Fran dreamed that John would return to that warm and loving family that they had dreamed of. Charlotte prayed that one day John would become more like this boy, Anthony Jennings, a holy young man from suburban Staten Island. However, at times, Charlotte was forced to physically restrain John from those so that the hope of his conversion would continue. She, like Monica, kept hold of that vision. John, the bow tie, and peace. It was not to be. John became a young man who was not very likely able to deal with the difficulties of his day. He was unruly, loud, constantly trying to lead a life full of vices. This was only one of those bouts of bad behavior followed by others. These were not the most significant aberrations in John's life. This is a picture of the Bahamian army after John caused a civil war there over a dispute with Bill Waters. There were threats against John's life by the military who wanted to throw him into the ocean for treason. We have a picture of that throwing. It is ironic that against this background, John was chosen to be our director of vocations and found it to be a very happy time in his life. John had some good ideas for the future work, Certainly young people wanted to serve like he did. John thought that the younger the candidate, the more time they could spend in service. Here he is staying with Peter Hogan, a young candidate, teaching him his favorite song, Pauper Sum Ego. Many thought that this was a foolish idea, but John experienced some success with this approach. Here he is pictured with a young priest taking him to his orthodontist. In God's plan, however, Charlotte, Peter, and Fran, like Monica, would see their dream and their vision complete. John would be the leader of many for 25 years. But Arthur sent this picture along of his brother Edward. It seems that Edward was the one that people really knew. Arthur is the other child in the picture who has apparently stolen Edward's truck. The picture here indicates the kind of life that Arthur wanted us to understand. In the pictures that he sent, there are many sacramental encounters. His baptism, his wearing of the original bow tie at a consecration service in New York. The sacramental saga continues. Arthur shares with us this special picture of the day that he won the Frank Galogli look-alike contest. It was certainly an ego boost for him, and it made Arthur aware that it was time for him to seek other interests. His parents, Edward and Ellen, received the news with joy. This picture, however, indicates that they were unhappy about the new hairdo. That doesn't exist as a problem anymore. We went to the South, Bronx. Edward the Good Son, inspired by the president of the student council at his high school, the Holy Father listened and sent Ellen Rita back to New York and gently told Arthur that with that look-alike award, he would never be accepted in any first world country. And should try to make for a life for himself somewhere else. Be sure. Yes. Well, you know what? I'm almost again sharing that powerful common bow tie. Early on, I found it necessary to throw my